guys, welcome back to my channel. First of all, thank you so much for watching my videos and for subscribing. Today I really wanted to talk about exchange programs, which is under what they call J1 visa. So rarely do you have internships, let's say for the young or for a bachelor's. If you're doing bachelor's back home, I know sometimes many jobs will require you to have had an internship during your bachelor's. So very rare would you get an internship here in the US and then you just go back home. But what you can do if you are a graduate student, that means you are doing a master's or PhD or even working, you can use a J1 visa to come here to the US in an exchange program. For example, in my lab, we have guys from East Africa or Sub-Saharan Africa all the time. And even we had one guy who just left from Ethiopia, and this guy was here for 3 months. We have another Ethiopian guy under J1 visa. He's going to be here for 1 year. We've had a Kenyan guy who had been here for 2 years. And actually the guy who was here for 2 years was doing his PhD. So he got a degree from my school, from my college here, and he got a degree in Kenya. So he got 2 degrees. He did 2 years here and then 2 years back home. But all this, what will enable you to do this is a J1 visa. So I'm really talking about J1 visa for those people who do not want a long-term stay in the US. Like you do not see yourself moving to the US. Either because of family, you have your family, you don't feel like you need to separate from family, you don't want to be far from your extended family, and you just want to learn some skills in a short period of time, then J1 will be your best bet. And I will post a link to Global World Health, the program that usually people use to come to my lab, but then you can also go to other different labs. Link down below, and you can check out those programs. You can check the requirements, and if you can use them to come here. I told you guys it can be 3 months, 6 months. I've even seen people come from 1 month. It's a fully funded program, so they fund your stay here, they fund your flights and everything. The reason I talk about this is because usually when most companies, your CV, even if you come here for 3 months and you say, I was in the US working with this company and I learned these skills and skills and skills like this, what happens is when you go back, you can put that in your CV or your resume, and that will already look better and will give you an edge when you're looking for a job. For example, 2 years ago, someone contacted me in Kenya and told me there was a job. I will not say which city because maybe some of you will not prefer to live in that city, but the pay for that job was starting salary $250,000 a month. But they needed someone who had studied in the US or did their bachelor's in the US, and it was only a bachelor's degree. So, and the reason for that was because they wanted someone who knew the work ethic. J1 visa is for those people who want to come here short term, not long term, because there are very few repercussions about J1 visa. J1 visa requires you to go back to your country and stay for 2 years before you can apply for any other visa. Before you can change the status, you can apply for a waiver, but and it's possible, but that's not the visa if you want to immigrate to the US in the long term, if that makes sense. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is a B1, B2 visa for conferences. Let's say you do not want to come here for 3 months, you do not want to come here for 6 months, you do not want to come here for 1 year. You want a shorter period, you just want an experience to see what US is like. There's a B1, B2 visa for conferences. And the reason I say that is it's harder for you to get a B1, B2 visa, which is a visiting visa, to just visit someone. For example, I have tried for my sister even to come for my graduation, and she got denied. And I know so many people who, they got denied. So technically the statistics is if you're between the age of 25 or 20 and 40, you are almost guaranteed that that visa is going to be denied as a visiting visa. The reason being, and this is what I think, this is in my opinion, most people who are that age bracket usually do not go back. They come here, they switch their status either to something else, or they even stay in the US illegally. So then what the US embassy has done is really deny those visas. So the better option for you is if you're coming to a conference. I know if you're coming to a conference, that's an easy thing. And there's so many conferences going on here in the US. For example, we have a Kenyan women in the US. There's usually a conference in July. Of course, it's not going to happen this year. And then we have Kotapka for those who are from Rift Valley, and conferences like that. And during the off-peak season, or even the academic conferences, they're actually academic conferences, and I actually like the academic conferences more, because the reason being, most of those conferences I was talking about happen in summer. In summer, flights are a little bit expensive, because for these conferences, you will be really funding yourself, you know? You'll be funding yourself. I don't know if there's funding anywhere, but you'll be funding yourself, unless it's the academic. The academic conferences, you can get funding from applying to different sponsorship for that conference, or they usually happen during off-peak season for traveling. For example, there's one conference in Chicago, and that happens around November, early December. Early December and November means the flights are really cheap tickets. For $600, which is 60,000 Kenyan shillings, you can get a round trip flight. Fly to US and then fly back to the US with the 60,000. But during the peak season, which is usually summer, when a lot of people are traveling, those flights go up to like $2,000, which is 200,000 Kenyan shillings, or even $3,000. So you get my idea of why I insist for those conferences. B1, B2 visas for visiting for short term. And then remember, B1, B2, you cannot go beyond 6 months in the US. You can only stay 6 months at a time. Even if you get a visa of 5 years, you can only stay 6 months at a time. And then also, day one visa, you can only stay the amount that it's allocated in there. So if they stamp that you're staying for 3 months, you'll have to stay for 3 months. You cannot extend your stay illegally, unless the school does it for you, or where you're going does it for you. So those are the main points that I wanted to talk today about. But thank you so much, guys, for watching my videos. Let me know if you have any questions. I really appreciate you guys watching my videos. Feel free to ask any questions and I'll answer them. You know, some people inboxed me, messaged me directly, and that's really great. I will actually reply one-on-one. If you have any questions about applying to school or GRE or anything, or even if you need help in finding the centers or money or anything, just let me know. Let me know, guys. Thank you so much.